deal is this. I'm going to be outside doing the next couple videos because I'm doing a lot of garage sailing lately. I've always loved it, and estate sales and so on. And I have a collection of candle holders, and most of them are a dark wood, and this one is nicely aged and has cool shape, and it's from India, which I like. And I decided that in order to make it match the rest of them, or kind of go with the rest of them, that I'm going to tint it with the Luminarte Pourables, and maybe a little bit of the sprays, and maybe even some of the twinkling H2Os. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mix the color I want. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this orangish one, because I kind of want it to have a cool, warm tone. And I'm going to mix in some of this one, and this one here is butternut. And it's a nice brown that has kind of a gold tint to it. And this isn't available in the pourables now, which is why I'm going ahead and pouring it. And because it's wood and it's very porous, you just go ahead and tint. So we're just going to go right over the paint. So it's going to tint the paint, and then it's going to soak in a little bit deeper into the actual wood. And I'm doing this on a craft mat because you can see that the spills, I can reuse them, so I'm not wasting anything, which is nice. You can also see that there's some wax on this. Doesn't even matter. It's going to make it a little bit more aged, a little bit less perfect, which, if you know me, I like everything not to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this whole thing to keep layering color. And the cool thing about the Luminarte paint is you can add to it. You know, we can just do layer and layer until we get the depth of color that we want. But notice that it's tinting quite nicely. I'm going to go all the way up. And this is a super fast job too, which I kind of like. I think I might go over it with a little bit of the spray, the Radiant Rain Pearl, so I have a little bit extra of the shimmer to it. You know, something like that, right? I've been doing a ton of estate sales. I've been trying to get out and go every single Friday that I can, and then garage sailing every Saturday, trying to look for cool little treasures to add into my new house, because I just moved. And also kind of thinking of ways to make things that might not quite match, but make them kind of become my own. I like having a little personal touch through my whole house, you know. I'm sure everybody else does too. And because this is water-based, this also is going to dry really fast, so this is kind of an instant gratification process. So keep putting that second layer down at the bottom again so it gets nice and dark, like so. So I'm almost done, almost all the way up. Spin it. Makes it kind of fast, just spin it around. Load up my brush, spin it again. This is pretty cool. Now we're going to turn it upside down. Keep spinning it. Makes it easy. Super fast work of this thing. I'm making a nice mess. Can't do crafting though without a mess. Gotta have a mess every day. I think I'm not in a good mood if I don't constantly make messes in my arts and crafts. Paint, my favorite. Keeps going. Kind of awkward. Switch it this way. Touch up. I'm going to pour a little bit more of the autumn butternut because I want it to be a little warmer. Okay, that's a lot of it more. And then I also have some of the twinkling H2Os that I already wet. So I did the chestnut and the nutmeg and a little bit of olivine. You can tell how much I like olivine because it's almost gone. We're going to add some of that to it too. So you can do the twinkling ones right on top, and what we'll do is after it dries really well, we'll put a coat of like a Krylon or a Super Seal or something over the top of it so that it protects and keeps the mica in place. Because if you were here in person, you'll see there's a little bit of shimmer going on, which is kind of cool. What I like about the Luminarte is it has kind of a little bit less is more kind of shimmer, so it's not a little bit overdone, but it has a hint. And I think when the candles get on it, it's going to be quite snazzy and tasteful. I like that. Sometimes less is more. And we'll just keep going. Okay, it's getting there. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of the twinkling. We're going to do the darker brown. Swirl that around so we get all the nice mica from the bottom. We'll add it right on top. I'm just going to kind of let it set, cool up, and put on these little flower things here. let that set. Let it pool up, because I can always wipe off the excess. Kind of like when you're staining, you can just wipe off all the excess. Let's do it on the bottom one. Pull it up. Remember, water is your friend, so you're going to go ahead and spritz your twinkling H2Os a little bit more, so they're nice and juicy. Keep going. Right through here, maybe do the flowers a little bit. I think I'll do some green in the flowers. There we go. Just a hint of color change, not much, just a hint. Like so. Looks pretty cool. And then maybe I'll put a hint up here. Because I don't like it to be, I don't want it to match. I don't want it to be bright. I want all the colors to kind of go. When you see this with the rest of them, it'll make sense, you know. I think every single time I see a candlestick, I buy it. It's my strange addiction. Candlesticks. And paint. And Luminarte. And art supplies. Guess I have a lot of them. Put it upside down. You can see there's some still white spots. And up. There we go. Done. Okay, so I've done several coats and it's drying. I'm going to add a little bit extra of the mica iridescence. I'm going to use one of the pearl ones. My favorite ones are the blue pearl, the red pearl, the green pearl, because it has a little bit of a color that you wouldn't expect with the brown. So I'm just going to go ahead and spritz a little bit all over it. This is from the new Radiant Rains, and you can see it doesn't clog. Got to love that. CI has worked long and hard to perfect it. So we're going to put it like this. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and use either a Krylon Crystal Coat, the Crystal Clear, or if you still have Super Seal in your stash, for those of you that have a whole stash like I do, I'm going to use this one. And what's cool about it, both of these, is that it will keep the color the same, and your mica iridescence will still show through. So anyways, and then I'll show you a picture of it in my room. On that note, can't wait to see what you do with your garage sale finds, and I'll talk to you soon.